There is a survival instinct in your cat's DNA that forbids him from showing you that he is unwell. Because of this, many cats suffer in silence for years with pain that could be treated. I'm going to teach you the technique of the pain mask, an almost imperceptible detail in the face and ears that reveals exactly what he is feeling. If you love your companion, you need to know what to look for. You wake up, put the food in the bowl, feel that soft brushing against your legs, and smile. You try every day to be the best guardian your cat could have. You buy the best litter, the most expensive toy, the water fountain that imitates a natural spring. I know how much you care. I see how much you study every meow and every tail movement, trying to decipher this small, furry universe that shares a roof with you. And before anything else, I want to validate your effort. The simple fact that you are here, trying to understand the subtle lines of your cat's behavior, already makes you an exceptional guardian. But the truth is that cats are masters in the art of disguise, and they do not do this because they do not trust us, but because of an implacable biological inheritance. In nature, showing pain is signing a sentence of vulnerability in front of predators or competitors. Because of that, your cat will not scream. He will not cry the way a dog would. He will simply change tone. He will whisper through gestures that to a hurried eye seem like nothing more than grumpiness or old age laziness. Today, we are going to dive into the depths of this connection, revealing the layers of pain that often go unnoticed, transforming your perception into a tool of healing and deep love. 1. The strategic retreat and the change of sanctuary. Often, we interpret a cat's isolation as a desire for privacy, something very common for the species. However, there is a subtle difference between wanting to be alone and needing to hide. If your cat, who used to sleep at the edge of your bed or on the living room couch, suddenly started choosing low, dark, and hard-to-reach places, like the back of a closet or the gap behind the washing machine, he may be trying to manage an internal crisis. Biologically, when the body spends energy fighting an inflammatory process or chronic pain, the cat enters preservation mode. He chooses a place where he does not need to watch his back, where the outside world does not force him to interact. The satisfaction behind the scenes here is not solitude, but the security of not being disturbed while trying to recover. If you notice that your shared sanctuary has been replaced by a solitary hiding place, do not force him out. Observe. His silence is a cry for help that does not use a voice. Number 2. The interrupted dance, the hesitation before the jump. This is perhaps the most revealing sign of joint or muscular pain, especially in cats entering their senior phase. Have you ever noticed if your cat stops in front of the couch, looks up, hesitates for a few seconds, and then gives up? Or perhaps he has started using a staircase of furniture instead of jumping directly onto the counter as he used to. On the surface, we think he's becoming calmer. In reality, the biological logic here is the cost-benefit calculation of pain. Every jump sends a wave of impact through worn cartilage. When he hesitates, he's processing whether the pleasure of being close to you on the couch is worth the sharp sting he will feel upon landing. Seeing this hesitation is like seeing an invisible scar. When you understand this, you stop seeing a lazy cat and start seeing an athlete dealing with limitations, which leads us to a much deeper empathy. It's a journey of continuous learning, and if you feel this video is opening your eyes to a new level of care, consider subscribing here to Feline. Our mission is to be the voice they do not have, so that your connection is based on facts, not assumptions. Number 3. The mirror of the soul, neglecting the coat. The cat is an animal of rituals, and tongue bathing is the most sacred of them all. Spending hours grooming is not only vanity, it is a way to maintain thermal insulation, remove odors that could attract predators, and emotionally, it is a mechanism of self-soothing. When a cat stops grooming itself, especially in difficult areas like the back or hips, the fur begins to look dull, messy, or with small clumps stuck together. The superficial reaction of the guardian is to think the cat is simply being sloppy. But the truth behind the scenes is that the flexibility required to reach those areas causes pain in the spine or kidneys. Conversely, excessive licking in a single spot, such as a paw or the belly, may be a desperate attempt to release endorphins to mask internal pain in that area or systemic stress. The coat is the map of your cat's health. Learn to read this map with your hands, feeling the texture and temperature of the skin underneath. That offends. Cutaneous hypersensitivity. Do you know that moment when you go to pet your cat in the usual place and he reacts with a low growl, an attempt to bite, or a sudden skin twitch? It is easy to feel rejected or think the cat is in a bad mood. However, the emotional logic here is the fear of anticipating pain. If the cat has abdominal or lower back pain, your touch, even a gentle one, may cause a painful spasm. He is not attacking you, he is protecting a conflict zone in his own body. Behind the scenes, he still loves and trusts you, but the survival instinct screams louder than affection in that moment. Adjusting your touch to neutral areas, such as the top of the head or the cheeks, respecting the limits of his body, is one of the greatest acts of love you can offer. It is understanding that physical distance, sometimes, is the space he needs to feel safe beside you. 5. The static gaze and the facial grimace expression. Recently, veterinary science validated something many guardians had already suspected intuitively. Cats have a pain mask. Unlike the expressive human face, the feline face becomes static. Observe the ears. If they are slightly turned outward, as if they were drooping, and the eyes remain half closed with a fixed stare that seems to look through emptiness, your cat may be suffering. The muzzle and cheeks tend to become more tense, creating a more square or pointed appearance. The genuine satisfaction that occurs when you identify this early is the possibility of intervening before the pain becomes unbearable. It is the fine adjustment of routine that prevents prolonged suffering. When you notice this expression, you no longer see just a sleeping cat, but a cat trying to endure something. And this level of detail is what separates an owner from a true feline companion. The minimalist practice, the coexistence of silence. Now that we have revealed these signs, I want to invite you to a powerful sensory adjustment focused purely on coexistence and respecting your cat's timing. Often, our reaction when we know someone is in pain is to do something, to touch, carry, or medicate immediately on our own. But the most healing practice you can adopt today is passive presence. Sit on the floor in the same room where he has chosen to stay, but do not look directly at him. Do not try to pick him up. Just be there, breathing calmly, reading a book, or scrolling on your phone in silence. Dim the lights, lower the volume of the TV, and avoid sudden movements. This sensory adjustment communicates to your cat's nervous system that the environment is safe and that he does not need to spend energy defending himself from unwanted interactions. It is a way of saying, I know you are not well, and I respect your process. I am here if you need me, but I will not force anything. This practice of being together without demanding creates an unbreakable bond. Over time, you will notice that by respecting his pain, he will begin to seek your comfort spontaneously. Transforming the routine into a safe harbor is the greatest gift you can give. Monitor these signs. Always consult a trusted veterinarian if you notice any change, and above all, continue being this attentive observer. Your cat cannot speak, but he knows exactly who the person is that best understands his silences. Your cat can't ask for help with words, but you can learn to read their signs. Subscribe to FelineIQ and become the translator your best friend deserves.